Hey guys! Yes, I'm wearing the same makeup and outfit as I did in a video that was probably uploaded like at least a few weeks ago, but today is a good day for filming, so I decided to film this one in advance of when I would actually want to upload it. So as I'm filming it, it is the beginning of December. But I wanted to show you something that is kind of like part of my goals for next year in 2018 in relation to reading, because I think I have finally made it out of my humongous reading slump. I managed to complete like 2 or 3 entire books in 2017, at least November and before. It was pretty bad. I had started so many books, but I didn't finish any except for like 2 starting in December. I've been finally actually getting into the habit of reading more. But anyway, this video is going to be about a challenge that I want to partake in, that I'm making for myself. So I have a lot of larger books on my bookshelves, and those are the ones that tend to be, that I tend not to pick up when I start reading because I'm intimidated by them. But I do, like, a lot of, really good books have been pretty long books. I want to make a goal of reading one book 600 or more pages at least once every 2 months in the year 2018. I have picked out 6 books for me to read in 2018, and I have to give myself at least 200 or 300 pages, and if I still feel like I'm slogging through the book, then I'll, pick up something else. But these are the ones that I have picked out, and I will just get started. So the first one, this is deceptively small. Like, it looks like it's like a couple hundred pages. No, this book is 630-ish pages. So it's deceptively small looking. This is actually Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, and it's a collector's edition. This is one that I'm like, I must get to next year because it's been on my shelf, probably one of the books that's been on my shelf the longest that I haven't read. It was given to me in middle school along with A Tale of Two Cities, both collector's editions by my grandparents, and I had been intimidated because they're Charles Dickens books, but I have since read A Christmas Carol, which I really enjoyed, and so I really want to give this classic a try, and so yeah, that's why this one's here. The next one I want to get through is Game of Thrones. I am going to be jumping in this without knowing pretty much anything about it. I've not watched the series, I have not, heard anybody talking, or really listened to what people were saying about it, so this is going to be just like a dive in without knowing anything. And this book it's about 830 pages, and this is a mass market paperback, and it's got pretty, pretty small font. But I've been wanting to read this one for a while, and of course because of its size, and because of the fact that it's in a series of huge books, I'm afraid that if I get hooked on this, I'll be hooked on like thousands and thousands of pages of one series, and I mean, that's not a terrible thing, so I shouldn't be afraid of it, right? The next one is one that I've wanted to read for a while, but I've always been afraid for a few reasons. This is Don Quixote, by, what's his name? Cervantes, Miguel Cervantes, something like that. And this book is even larger than the other ones. This one is about 940 pages. Yeah, and not just its size, but the fact that this was written in, I believe, the 17th century is a little intimidating. I believe it's a translated version. Yeah, J.M. Cohen translated it. So hopefully the translation is semi-easy to understand. But this is basically about, like, it's supposed to be funny, because I've actually read When I was in Spanish class, I read some comics of Don Quixote in Spanish. They're pretty funny. Next book is one that, I'm pretty excited for this one. I've heard great things about it. This is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. It's the first book in the Mistborn trilogy, an epic fantasy series that's super popular, and yeah, people really love it. And I love this international edition. That's the reason I got this in a box set like that. It's just a beautiful looking book, and this one's about 640 pages, and this one I'm really excited for. Alright, getting to the last two books. The next book is Hawaii by James A. Michener, and this is humongo. This one is about 1,100 pages, and this is really intimidating because this is a historical fiction on Hawaii and its history. Like, it basically tells the story of Hawaii's history through the use of like fictional characters and stuff. I'm kind of hoping that I'll actually enjoy this because I don't know if it's something that I would be interested in, but I guess we will see. Last big book that I'm planning to read in 2018 is this huge heavy thing. This is Under the Dome by Stephen King, and this is actually not one of the larger books by Stephen King that I'm as interested in, but it's the one that's on my shelf, so I'll give it a shot. I have read 3 Stephen King books, all with very different like thoughts on them. The first one I read, I believe, was The Gunslinger, which I thought was okay. I didn't continue the series. Second one was Cujo, which was pretty eh. That one I really didn't like. I only gave it like 2 stars. And then the third one I read was The Green Mile, which is one of my favorite books ever. So Stephen King, like, I have very mixed views on his books, so I'm going to try and give like all of his books a fair shot, the books that I want to read. So this is Under the Dome, and I've seen a few of the TV episodes, I believe, and the concept is really interesting. That like this city gets like randomly like enclosed under a dome, and so I'm looking forward to reading this one as well. So here is the stack of all the giant books that I want to read in 2018. But I am really excited, even though I am intimidated by it. Hopefully I will be able to get this challenge completed, or at least give it my fair shot. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!